Alright, we're starting with the M80 here. Now to the Anthem. Back to the M80. And now the Anthem. And I'll do some fast changes starting with the M80 here. While I'm playing, I'm just going to change through the two. Anthem. Back to the M80. I actually think the Anthem is a little louder. Let me turn it down. Alright, here we go. M80. Anthem. M80. Okay. So just to start, I think getting into my opinion relatively quickly, I think the Anthem has a better, more natural acoustic sound if you're going for a traditional acoustic tone. And also to maybe replicate the sound of your acoustic guitar live, I think there is no better pickup than a microphone, which the Anthem has inside of its system. And I think it's one of the most stable sources for a traditional acoustic sound. You know, if you're playing solo acoustic and maybe acoustic with a band, and singer-songwriter style of one guitar, one voice, or bluegrass and folk music, I think it's one of the best pickups you can buy. The reason I am checking out the M80 is because I'm using the acoustic guitar in a less traditional circumstance where I'm looping the guitar and using the guitar as a rhythm source, and I think that in that case, the M80 has some strengths that I want to go over in this video and show the difference in the two areas that I think are the most important for my circumstance, and hopefully that helps you in your decision on what guitar pickup to put in your guitar. So anyway, here we go. Currently, it's set on the M80, and the interesting part about this pickup, I think it's one of the only ones that does this, is it has transducer, or I believe it's called a 3D electronic pickup inside of it that is picking up the body sounds of the acoustic guitar, which most sound hole electric magnetic pickups don't have that. So I'm just going to give you an example of some of the sounds that can come through on the top of the guitar when you are touching it. I have a ring on my hand here, Sue. And I'll do the same thing with the Anthem here. I actually think there's something in the guitar that's rattling a little bit, but that just goes to show you how true the sound of the microphone is to the sounds that you're hearing out of the guitar. But nonetheless, here I'll go. So that's the Anthem. Back to the M80. my nails scratching on the top of the guitar. Back to the Anthem. About right here is where the mic is. That's me right on top of it. And I'll go back to the M80 here. So this is the main reason that I wanted to check this out is actually the bass response from the pickup itself. The two differences of this pickup, besides the microphone that is controlling the body sounds of the guitar, the low end, the low frequency source of the pickup for the M80 is this magnetic pickup, which is very similar to a traditional electric guitar pickup that is picking up the magnetic frequencies from the string. The Anthem, the low end source for the pickup, is a under the saddle piezo pickup or piezo pickup that is picking up the physical vibrations and the pressure of the string on top of the bridge. So because of that, when you slap on the guitar, depending on where you are on the string, where you hit on the guitar will create a different type of low-end thump and something that emulates a kick sound for a kick drum. And I'll go through the two differences, and I'll explain a little bit more why I believe this M80 pickup may be more stable and more usable in a live environment, and ultimately what I'm going to give a try in this guitar. Actually, I'll be putting it in another guitar, but the guitar I'll be playing with live. So here we go. So this is the low end thump kick style sound that I am getting from the M80 here. I'll really hit on it here. Alright, now I'll go to the Anthem SL. Alright, now I'm going to really hit on the guitar a little closer to the bridge itself. So. Lightly tapping on the bridge itself. So that's me accenting with a little bit of the body mic sound as well. Okay, and now I'll switch back to the M80 and do somewhat of a similar thing. So the main reason that I think this M80 will work a little bit better for somebody that's in a looping scenario with the acoustic guitar is because when hitting on the piezo pickup, it peaks the signal a lot quicker than the magnetic pickup. I believe there's somewhat of a limit to the amount of sound that is outputted from the magnetic pickup, as opposed to the piezo pickup. There is a lot of sound that comes through when you hit that source, and because of that, you have to kind of monitor how you're hitting the guitar a lot more. There's in some ways there's kind of a dynamic aspect to it, which could be beneficial, but I've found that when I get excited at shows and putting together something with a lot of energy and there's a lot of people around and things like that, it will come through harder than I really need it to, and I have to control how hard I hit it, and sometimes when I hit it too hard, it will make the system overload and peak and things like that. Whereas when I hit on a magnetic pickup, it is just more stable and more consistent, which I think is, there's less dynamics there, but in exchange you get something that's more stable and replicable throughout your performance. The other reason that I find this to be preferable, and I was playing here into a speaker earlier and testing this out, but when you hit on this physical pickup, the sounds that are coming through in the speaker system will actually come back in to play when you start recording other parts. You will hear the low end thump that you've created back through the recording a lot faster with this physical piezo pickup. I still think it's an amazing pickup, and I have performed, um, a handful of shows with the acoustic guitar in this format, and it is done just fine. But sometimes in the louder environments, and certainly if you're playing on louder stages, the low end thump that you'll feel from the subwoofers and a lot of the stage noise and the room noise and things like that will come back into the guitar, even when you have a sound hole cover and all of that, doing the best you can. Just the nature of the physical pickup itself, it will reproduce those sounds and maybe not necessarily create feedback, but the loops you get through the guitar will be less clean. So because of that, I know that this M80 pickup may not sound as traditionally sound as a acoustic guitar. I believe that it will allow you for more stability inside of the live atmosphere, and because of that, I prefer it at this point, which I was not. I was surprised that I did. I just kind of bought it with it was used and it had a return policy, so I knew I could try it and see how it went. And now that I'm, giving it some time, I believe it is something that I'll be utilizing in the future. So yeah, that's my perspective on this pickup, and I'll just play a little bit more with it, and I'll show you just a kind of loop that I might create with it, and you can decide for yourself. So like I said, to me, that sound is a great acoustic tone, in my opinion, in order to use the rhythmic aspects and get some lead tones out of it after laying down a nice rhythm track. And then I'll also just play it through this is a impulse response really quickly, just because I know there are certain systems you can run it through that will emulate a acoustic guitar path a little bit more. So this is the M80 running through a impulse response that's supposed to emulate a Taylor 614, which I think I could fine tune it a little bit more, but this is just a proof of concept of how you can change the sound. That's the impulse response on, now off. Off, now on. Now here's off. It sounds, like I said, pretty good without the impulse response as well, but I think with some more dialing in, you can actually just add a little bit more dimension to the pickup itself. All in all, I think they're both wonderful pickups. The Anthem SL the Anthem sound hole version, and this version of the Anthem Stage Pro that I'm using, um, I think are all just fantastic pickups. But now that I'm, playing more acoustic live, I think this M80 is going to be a better fit for me. So, anyway, thanks again for checking this video out. I know it was probably long, and I hope it was worth your time. And feel free to ask me any questions. I'll try to help.